Amid the escalating conflict between Russia and Ukraine, Donald Trump has repeatedly claimed that, if reinstated as president, he could end the war within 24 hours. However, this promise seems more like a political declaration than a feasible diplomatic strategy. Recent exchanges of attacks between Russia and Ukraine reveal that this war has evolved from a regional conflict into an international proxy war, involving multiple layers of complexities and interests, making its resolution more difficult than ever. According to reports, Ukraine recently used US-supplied long-range missiles to strike targets within Russian territory and followed up with British-supplied Storm Shadow cruise missiles for deeper strikes. These actions indicate that Ukraine is increasingly expanding its counteroffensive efforts, moving the battlefield from its own territory into Russia. In response, Moscow has retaliated with intercontinental missiles and warned the West that any nation supporting Ukraine's attacks on Russia will be considered as escalating the conflict significantly. Against this backdrop, Trump would face numerous challenges in attempting to end the war. Firstly, the core issues between Ukraine and Russia are nearly irreconcilable. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has repeatedly emphasized that the war can only end if Russia fully withdraws its troops and recognizes the sovereignty of Crimea and other occupied territories. On the other hand, Russia insists that Ukraine's potential NATO membership and the ongoing expansion of Western influence threaten its national security, leaving no room for compromise. Furthermore, international involvement has further complicated the situation. Western nations have demonstrated clear support for Ukraine through military aid, with the recent provision of long-range missiles representing NATO's pressure on Russia. If Trump attempts to alter this policy, he may face strong opposition from allies. Meanwhile, North Korea's involvement in the war, with reports of its troops assisting Russian forces, adds another layer of unpredictability to the conflict, highlighting its growing internationalization. Domestically, Trump would also have to contend with significant political pressure. The Democratic and Republican parties hold vastly different positions on policies towards Russia. Should Trump pursue any form of compromise, he could face resistance from Congress. Moreover, public opinion on the war is divided. While some voters favor ending overseas military involvement, others believe the U.S. should maintain a firm stance against Russia to prevent further aggression. What's more concerning is Russia's recent revision of its nuclear doctrine, which adds to the uncertainty surrounding the war. Putin has made it clear that any attack on Russia with the support of nuclear-capable nations could trigger a nuclear response. This has elevated fears of escalation to new heights in the international community. How Trump navigates the nuclear threat in diplomatic efforts will be crucial to his ability to mediate the conflict effectively. Analysts suggest that for Trump to fulfill his promise of a 24-hour ceasefire, he would need to quickly convince Zelensky to abandon territorial claims, persuade Putin to halt military actions, and reconcile divisions within the U.S. and among allies. However, given the current state of affairs, such actions appear nearly impossible to achieve. The Russia-Ukraine war is no longer merely a bilateral conflict but a broader struggle over international order and geopolitical dynamics. As reports have indicated, Ukraine holds portions of Russian territory as leverage for future negotiations, while Russia continues to use nuclear threats and its international influence to pressure the West. These factors significantly complicate Trump's proposed quick resolution. Whether he participates or not, resolving this war will clearly require more time and refined diplomatic efforts, rather than being accomplished through mere political rhetoric.